there. You caught me reading one of my favorite books, Little Women by Alcott. Well, welcome to Storytime. I think that you should know about our big word that we're talking about authors this month. In fact, we're going to talk about some of my favorite authors. So let's do the quick intro and come right back to here. Welcome back to my big comfy chair. Welcome once again to Storytime. I, of course, am Miss Hannah. And as we said in the intro, we're talking about authors and illustrators this month. The author writes the story and the illustrator colors the picture. This week, we're going to talk about one of my favorite authors and a person who we talk about every single March, and that's Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss is a very prolific author. He has lots and lots and lots of books. So we're going to read just a few because if I read all of them, we'd be here all day. And I don't think you want to be here all day with me. Just some. So first, I've got his first story. He wrote his very, very first story. I've got to get it real quick. Ugh. His very first story that he ever wrote. It's called And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street. And these are all by Dr. Seuss today. And also illustrated by Dr. Seuss. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, "Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see." But when I tell him I've been where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me sternly and says, Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. Now, what can I say when I get home today? All the long way to school and all the long way back, I looked, and I've carefully kept track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. There's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. That can't be my story. That's only the start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling that cart. And that's the story that no one can beat when I say I saw it on Mulberry Street. Look, he's changed it to a zebra. Yes, a zebra's fine, but I think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would be much better to hear if the driver were a charioteer. See, look, there's a charioteer. A gold and blue chariot, something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. Now, that won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer's much better. He's fast and he's fleet. And he looked mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. It's getting bigger. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels when to pull things that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a big fancy sled. He keeps changing things, doesn't he? A reindeer and a sleigh. Say anyone could think of that. Jack and Fred and Joe or Nat. Say even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. Just a little one. A sleigh and an elephant. There's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size. A blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then, just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high in a throne. Say, that will make a story nobody can beat. Which, when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But now, I don't know, it doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip it around in the air like a kite. But he'd look so simply grand with a great big brass band. Look at what he's pulling. Marco just keeps changing his story, make it bigger and bigger. A band so good that that someone should hear it, but it's going so fast it's hard to keep near it. I'll just put it on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits behind if a man sits and listens what's hitched behind. See, he's got somebody listening now. But now is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I bet those wagons weigh more than a ton. It's really too heavy a load for just one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two, at least. What did he add up front? Do you see? There's some giraffes up front now. Marco. But now what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs right into Bliss. And unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes the police to do this trick, to guide them through where traffic is thick. It takes police to do this trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself at the lead. There's Sergeant Mulvaney. He's leading them all down. The mayor is there, and he thinks it's grand to raise his hat as they dash by the stand. The mayor is there, and the aldermen too. They're waving big banners of red, white, and blue. Do you see the mayor up there with all the aldermen? And that's the story that no one can beat when I say I saw it on Mulberry Street. With a roar of an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers, and that makes the story really not bad, but it still could be better. So suppose that I add a Chinese man who eats with sticks, a big magician doing tricks, a 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more. I'm almost home. Look at all of this stuff he's imagining. I swung around the corner and dashed up the gate. I ran up the steps and I felt simply great, for I had a story that no one could beat, and to think I saw it on Mulberry Street. Dad stood quite calmly. Just draw up your stool and tell me the sights that you saw on your way home from school. There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly, and from there in his seat, was there nothing to look at, no people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. The end. Did he have quite a story to tell? Yeah, but was it true? No. Silly boy. So did he tell his daddy the truth? Yeah. It's just a fun story, though, to make it so big. It was fun for him to make it so big, even though it was just something simple. I've got a fun little rhyming activity for us to do. Let's go and do it. Let's do a fun rhyming adventure. Dr. Seuss loved to rhyme. That was one of his favorite things to do. So we're going to play kind of a rhyming game. We're going to do it 2 times. This is our first time. First time we're going to do it with the word cat. We're going to see if you can think of things that rhyme with cat. Can you play with me? I'm going to give you a hint, and then you try to guess it, and we'll jump together each time we get it. Ready? All right, ready? Cat. In baseball, I hit a ball with a... Did you say bat? Bat. I do this to my head sometimes. Pat. Pat. Cat. Good job. Sometimes I have when I sit at the table, I have something over it. I have a place. Did you say mat? Mat. You're so good at this rhyming. All right, let's see if I can think of another one. If I go, not this, but... Did you say that? That. Oh, you're so good at this. All right, sometimes I wear on my head, a hat. Hat. You're so good at this. Let's go read another story, and then we'll come back and do another one. You want to? Let's go. And did you enjoy rhyming? I think that's always so much fun to practice our rhyming skills. I've got another Dr. Seuss book. This one's a fun one. It's one of my kids' favorites. It's called I Can Read With My Eyes Shut. Can you read with your eyes shut? I'm going to find out if you can. By Dr. Seuss. I can read in red. I can read in blue. I can read in pickle color too. I can read in bed and in purple and in brown. I can read in circle and even upside down. I can read with my left eye. I can read with my right. I can read Mississippi with my eyes shut tight. See? I can do it. I can read with my eyes shut. Mississippi, Indianapolis, and Hallelujah too. This thing is very hard to do. It's very bad for my hat. It makes my eyebrows red hot. Can you see? My eyebrows are so red hot. So reading with my eyes shut is something I don't do a lot. I don't either. Makes my eyebrows, look at them. They're already red hot. But when I keep them open, I can read with much more speed. You have to be a speedy reader because there's so much to read. You could read about trees and bees and knees and knees on trees and bees on trees. You can read about anchors. You can read about ants. You can read about ankles and crocodile pants. That's silly. You can read about hoses and how to smell roses and what to do about owls on noses. Do you have an owl on your nose? That's probably a good thing. Young cat, if you keep your eyes open, oh, the stuff you will learn. You will learn about the most wonderful stuff. You will learn about fish bones and wishbones and trombones too. You will learn about Jake the Pillow Snake and Frou-Frou the Snoo. You've heard of Frou-Frou the Snoo? We'll have to read about it. You'll learn about ice and about mice, mice on ice and ice on mice. You'll learn about the price of ice. Nice ice for sale, 3 cents, 10 cents a pail. You'll learn about sad and glad and mad. There are so many things to learn about, but you'll miss the best things if you keep your eyes shut. The more you read, the more you will know. The more you learn, the more places you'll go. You might learn a way to earn a few dollars, or how to make donuts, or kangaroo collars. You might learn to read music and play the hut shut if you keep your eyes open, but not with them shut. If you read with your eyes shut, you're likely to find the place you're going is far, far behind. Look at all the places. So, that's why I tell you to keep your eyes wide. Keep your eyes open, at least on one side. Such a silly book. I've got one more short one that we're going to read, and then we'll do one more fun activity. This is called The Sneetches and Other Stories by Dr. Seuss, and we're going to read one that's specific in here. I have to turn to it. Give me a second. This one is called Too Many Daves. Did I ever tell you of Mrs. McCabe? She had 23 sons, and she named them all Dave. Well, she did, and it wasn't a smart thing to do. You see, when she once was, she calls, "Yoo-hoo! Come to the house, Dave!" And she doesn't get one. All 23 Daves of hers come on the run. This makes it quite difficult at the McCaves, as you can imagine with so many Daves. And often she wishes when they were born she'd named one of them Boykin von Horn, and one of them Hoofus, and one of them Snim, and one of them Hotshot, and one Sunny Jim, and one of them Shadrach, and one of them Blinky, and one of them Stuffy, and one of them Stinky. Another one Putt-Putt, another one Moonface, another one Marvin O'Gravel, Balloonface, another one Ziggy, and another one Soggy Muff, another one Sneepy, and one of them Willy Weed, and one of them Paris Garters, and another one Harrison Tweed, and one of them Sir Michael Carmichael Zutt, and another one Oliver Bolivar Butt, and one of them Zanzibar Buck McFate. But she didn't do it. And now it's too late. And was that a silly story about Mrs. McCabe and all of her sons named Dave? Would you like to all be named Dave? Maybe it's a good thing you have your name. Let's go do a quick activity and come back here for one more story. Sometimes Dr. Seuss liked to make up new words, or he liked to make you say words very funny. So that's what we're going to do for our another activity. We're going to maybe make up a new word. Did you know that Dr. Seuss invented the word burp? Did you know that? And he also liked to make up words that are just fun to say, like zizzer, zazzer, zuzz. So we're going to play a game where we say words kind of funny, and then maybe you could make up your own word. I'm going to try the word bubbles. Can you do bubbles with me? I'm going to do it lots of different ways. I'm going to do bubbles really deep. Bubbles. Bubbles. Now I'm going to try really high. Bubbles. Bubbles. What else should I do? Maybe I'll do blanket. 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 Blanky! Blanket. Alright, maybe you can invent a word. Maybe we can do, you like to use Z's a lot. Maybe we can do zigs. Zigs. Maybe you can think of one. I'll let you think. And I'm going to do one more word. What should I do? Maybe I'll do light bulb. Light bulb. Light bulb. Light bulb. It's fun to be silly, isn't it? Let's go read another story. Okay, we're back here for one last story. Our last book is called My Many Color Days. This is by Dr. Seuss. This is actually has a different illustrator. This is Steve Johnson and Lou Fancher. This is one of my favorite books that I found from Dr. Seuss. It's about emotions. Some days are yellow, some are blue. On different days, I'm different too. Sorry, I did read your chest. You'd be surprised how many ways I change on different colored days. On bright red days, how good it feels to be a horse and kick up my heels. On other days, I'm other things. On bright blue days, I flap my wings. Some days, of course, feel sort of brown, and I feel slow and low down. Like a bear sleeping. Then comes the yellow days, and whee! I'm a busy, buzzy bee. Gray day, everything is gray. I watch, but nothing moves today. You're an owl. Then all of a sudden, I'm a circus seal. On my orange days, that's how I feel. Green days, deep down in the sea, cool like quiet fish. That's me. On purple days, I'm sad. I groan. I drag my tail. I walk alone. Purple dinosaur is sad on purple days. But when my days are happy pink, it's great to jump and just not think. Then comes my black days, mad and loud. I howl. I growl at every cloud. Everybody has black days sometimes where they're just mad. Then comes mixed up day, and wham! I don't know who or what I am. But it all turns out all right, you see, and I go back to being me. The end. Do you have different color days? I sometimes do. Some days I like to sleep and have a brown day. Other days I'm busy like a yellow bee. Maybe you can think of an emotion that you are. I think I have one more activity, and I got the big word, and then I will come back here for our craft. Are you ready to play another rhyming game? This time we're going to do the up family. So each time we do it, what are you going to do? Jump. So each time we get a rhyme, you got to be thinking. I'm going to give you some hints. You ready? First one is, what did I just do? Did you say hop? Hop! All right, let's think of another one. Not the bottom, but the... Did you say top? Top! What's another one? Sometimes I use this to clean my house. It has water, and I use it all over my floors. Did you say mop? Mop! What's another word for soda? Do you know another word for soda? Also, sometimes I get this as a treat too, and it goes with corn. It goes like that. Do you know what it is? Did you say pop? Pop! Do you know another word for a police officer? Did you say cop? Cop! Now let's see if I can think of another one. Sometimes I do this to my kids' nose. I go, do you know what I just did? I bopped them. Bop! Well, let's see if you can think of any others. Not go, but... Did you say stop? Stop! Good job. Let's do the big word. We have a double big word for this month. We have author and illustrator, and we're going to do it just a little bit different. For this month, we're going to do, in a book, the author writes the words, and the illustrator colors the pictures. Can you do it with me? We're going to do it 3 times. Get into your brain. Ready? 1, 2, 3. In a book, the author writes the words, and the illustrator colors the pictures. Ready? Here we go again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. In a book, the author writes the words, and the illustrator colors the pictures. One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. In a book, the author writes the words, the illustrator colors the pictures. Good job. Let's go find out what our craft will be today. All right, here we are back in our big comfy chair for our craft time. Do you remember Dr. Seuss's most famous character? We saw him in our book, I Can Read With My Eyes Shut. It's the Cat in the Hat. So what we can make today is our very own hat, like the Cat in the Hat. Have to sit back so you can see it all. Look how tall mine is. You can make your own version. Mine is just made with white paper, a crayon, and a stapler, because I made it so I can wear it like a hat. See? I can take it off and show you. See, it's just stapled on the back so I could wear it. So I hope you had a fun Dr. Seuss day celebrating Dr. Seuss, and we will see you next time for another author. I wonder who it will be. We'll see you then. Goodbye.